friend of the program, friend of the site, Zach Heisen. Where do you start the negotiations for Robert Quinn? What is the most you would give up? Ironically, I think it starts with the Ryan Poles pick. I know that's very,
it
very
starts
weird.
with it.
Do you think that they wouldn't have to give up more than the Ryan Poles pick?
I am starting to be more and more out on Robert Quinn. So
Really?
Look, we already said he had a lot of sacks, but the pressure rate was not there. I'm just like, I think about the contract. I just go, unless he's willing, I don't know, to just straight up take a pay cut this year. You just mouthed that. You didn't even say it out loud.
A pay cut. Wow.
I don't like his contract. I don't like the idea of it because it's a big cap hit this year. So the Chiefs have to touch it because they wouldn't have enough cap space if they don't. By having to touch it, that means they have to add dead money onto it unless he takes a pay cut. I don't really love the idea of a multi-year investment in Robert Quinn plus a draft pick when they could just get 80% of what he is by just signing Trey Flowers or just signing Carlos Dunlap.
Could they?
For 80% of what he was?
They
had 80% of his pressure rate last year.
I think obviously if you're going to absorb the contract without messing with it, you would have to extend Orlando Brown, right? And play with this
or do something
cap
else,
hit.
but
yes,
probably extend Orlando Brown.
So in order for that to happen, event X would have to happen in order to get outcome Y, which is Robert Quinn. If they did that, your cap hit this season wouldn't be great, but it wouldn't be terrible. Then, as Matt Verderam brought up, it's essentially a team option, but then again, it's like 12,
players
13, 14
that.
million. Yes,
players
aren't
hate
very
that,
fond
by
of
the
it.
way.
Yeah.
If you want a player that's disgruntled, do that with Robert Quinn. Go ahead.
Just string him along and then cut him last minute. Players it's good hate business. That. It's great business. Players love it.
That's why I'm saying, like, people say this very like pristine example of something like that. I'm like, that's not how it works. Like, players get mad. Yeah. So I'm operating under the assumption Robert Quinn does not want to play with the Chiefs with zero guaranteed money. So if we're doing that, that means the Chiefs would have to restructure it a bit. And I just like having a little bit of dead money for him and trading a draft pick also when you could sign somebody who's 80% of him for nothing. I just would rather add Carlos Dunlap, please.
I'm not totally like 100% in on it. I'm also not like against it at all. I'm in.
I would do it for a 4th round pick. I'll say that.
I think I would do it for a 3rd and a 4th round pick, or a 3rd and a 5th, a 3rd and a 6th, the Poles pick and something else.
I don't know how desperate the Bears are to get rid of him. So
if it's a 2 and a 3, just hang up the phone.
Oh God.
Or if it's 2 3s,
anything higher than the Poles pick, I'm out easily.
I respect it. I think if he's also 32. He also hasn't been that productive outside of the sacks. Like, people think, just to set expectations, he's not going to give them 18 and a half sacks. He might not do that over 2 years. Like, that would be a more realistic expectation from him. Like, he's an 8 to 10 sack.
He's closer. Yeah, he's closer to 8 than 18.
He's closer to like what they got from Frank Clark the first time he was there with the Chiefs.
First year, Frank Clark.
And if you want to pay, 13 million or 12.8 or 14 or whatever it is over those seasons,
it's like, it's average of 13 a year.
It's also going against what the Chiefs have done, which is opting for youth to get a 32-year-old. He's older than Frank Clark by like 3 or 4 years. Frank Clark's what, 28, 29?
I think he's 29. Yeah.
So it's not perfect. And I'm not trying to say it is. People like, I think the Chiefs would be somewhat wise to get Robert Quinn, but like Conner said, if the asking price is too much, no. If they have to mess with his contract, then probably no. Like, unless you're literally not giving up a lot, not paying him a lot, not messing with the deal a lot, then it's not worth it. You can go get a Trey Flowers, you can go get a Carlos Dunlap. I think I still would, like you said, prefer that over getting Robert Quinn. If they aren't doing that and they still need help, then I think that's where I'm like, okay, press the button, go get Robert Quinn.